Hey everyone, this is the core keeping safe training. This core aspect of keeping safe is for everyone who is looking to do the keeping safe training as part of WMB. Now, there are different sections after that for keeping safe. After the core, there's the kids section, the youth section, and the senior section. So for this section of the training, this is for everyone. This is the training that everyone must have. And then for whatever area you're serving in, there will be specific training for that. Now, I realize I haven't even introduced myself, although my guess is you probably will know who I am, but my name is Derek. Right now, as I do this training video for you, I am the Family Ministries Pastor here at WMB. Now, I am going to share my screen and let's begin, shall we? So, as you can see, I am on the WMB website. Now, the reason for this is because this is where you can find the most up-to-date keeping safe document. And if you can find this document, this is very helpful for you to reference in this training video and when you start serving. So, on the website, as you see what I'm doing now, you scroll to the bottom where it says other links. There, you're going to click this keeping safe policy, which will bring up our keeping safe document. Now, when we talk about keeping safe, this document is the board approved, insurance approved, and staff approved document that we use for making sure that we are keeping everyone safe here at WMB, both volunteers and those who are vulnerable, like kids, youth, and specifically seniors. So when you open up this document, this is the first page, and then we are just going to go through this document together. The first section of it, that is. So right at the start, we see some definitions. I am not going to go over each definition here. However, if there is a definition that you ever have questions about, please feel free to reach out to me at Derek Klumpenhauer at wmbchurch.ca, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about one of those definitions. Next, it goes to screening, and this just shares a little bit what it looks like for us to screen all of our volunteers who are going to serve in one of our various ministry areas. Now, all workers, that includes all staff, pastors, directors, board members, and then volunteers who are working with children, youth, or vulnerable adults, must complete this. So it's not just our volunteers, but even someone like myself has completed very similar procedures. Now, they must do a completed and signed reference. So for kids in youth ministry, these are online. For seniors, that is typically done alongside Gareth. And on those references, on those applications, rather, you always need two references. And then also, you just fill out some other information and saying different things like you haven't committed any of the following crimes. You will see that application when you apply. You must submit a vulnerable sector check if you are over 18 years of age. There are special exemptions for this. If you believe you are not able to fill out one of these police checks, please contact the leader of the ministry area to which you are applying, because there is some exceptions to this. However, overall, everyone 18 and over must have a police check, and this must be done at least every 5 years. And then you can attend an interview with a ministry director or pastor. Now, this is done in different forms. This is especially done, and it's specifically outlined later on in the document, that this is really, especially if we don't know you. So, like, let's say you want to become a youth leader, but you and I don't really know each other. We're going to ask to meet, right? I want to get to know you better, and I want to hear your story. I want to hear why you want to serve, all those different things. If, for example, someone who I've known very well for 4 years is applying to kids ministry, for example, and I know them very well, I'm not going to do a formal interview with them in the same way because they are known to me and I have all the questions that I'd want to ask, I can already answer. If there's questions I don't know, then I might reach out to them, right, and ask some of those appropriate questions. Now, also, when we're going through this, I will then make a checklist. If I'm doing this, or Gareth, or whoever's filling this out, sometimes Stephanie, will make a checklist that all these different things are being done. And we will ensure that the onboarding process is done smoothly. Then we move to the training. Now, the training aspect is actually what you are doing right now as you do this video and as you fill out this form. So training is done either in person via video or an online approved training portal, which is if you're doing Kidsmin or Youthmin, you always will do it in that online portal. The training is to be carried out by the ministry area director. So right now, that's me for kids and youth ministry, and I'm the one that's going to carry it out. And we're going over right now the board statement of policy, the definitions, which is in the document that I referenced to, and then we go over the specific ministry area. Now, you must receive this training before you serve in the ministry area, and then I must be notified that you have completed. So again, I'm just speaking in terms of me as a leader of the ministry area. The ministry leader must be notified when you have completed the training. Following completing the training, you will have it marked in our church database what day specifically you completed it. And then every year, you must do it on an annual basis. Now, it might not be specific to the year, but your ministry leader will reach out when you're at that year time renewal and ask you to do what we call keeping safe refresher. Now, I'm going down here to page 6 of 36. Let's wrap up the core training. For operational procedures, there's specific sections, and we are going to go over each of those for your specific ministry area. Now, however, today we are just, again, in this video doing the core training, and then you will proceed after this video to the specific area. Now, just as we wrap up the core training, we want to look at responding to allegations or complaints. What does that mean? What will we as a church do when there's allegations or complaints? The lead pastor or delegate will assume responsibility to ensure that all allegations and complaints of abuse are responded to in this manner. They will do the suspected abuse form. Now, that is found at the very bottom of this document. So if you go down, we have these appendix here. And the suspected abuse form is right up here. Appendix C or Appendix D for the suspected elder abuse one. So when that is happening, when we suspect abuse, we fill out one of those forms. Let me just get back to my page. And then we will satisfy statutory legal obligations and report all cases of abuse to police authorities or child protective agencies. As citizens of Canada, it is our duty to report all suspected signs of abuse and all suspected cases of abuse. As a church, we'll consult a lawyer for advice, especially if it's regarding someone from our congregation who is the abuser. We without meeting legal liability, we will express WB's church's concern, to the complainant and their families, and ensure them of our commitment in assisting with the investigation. We will assure confidentiality for both the benefit of the alleged victim and the alleged perpetrator. Immediately suspend the alleged perpetrator from children or youth ministry duties without presuming guilt, pending the outcome of a police investigation. We will avoid public statements to individuals, the media, or from the pulpit without obtaining legal counsel first. And we will contact our insurance agent or broker to report the incident to satisfy the statutory conditions of liability policy and to avoid jeopardizing our legal defense and coverage response. I do want it to be known that we will take cases of abuse very seriously. Of course, I'm sure you've seen different news stories throughout the years of churches that have not done this well. And it is our hope and prayer that we as a church, if it comes to a point where there is a case of abuse in our church, that we will handle it